Hey everyone, welcome back to another lesson here on the channel. Today we're going to be talking about the exact filters and criteria that I use when setting up a tool like Helium 10's Black Box or Jungle Scout's Product Discovery to find profitable products that are within my budget to sell, and beyond that, are different from the ones that I just saw last week when I was doing this. So if that sounds like something you'd be interested in watching, be sure to stick around to the end. Be sure to like and subscribe if you happen to be new, but without further ado, let's move right over into my computer. All right, so we're gonna get right into the filters that I've set up, but let me just say, this is something that a lot of people struggle with. There's tons of people that tell me in the comments or directly that they have trouble using software like this to find products, and really it's one of the main ways, if not the main way and only way, that I find product ideas. So I want to show you how I set up my filters, because I really haven't made a video like this in probably over a year about the exact filters that I like to use. So we're going to get into this. Let's go into an updated version of this. Let's start off here in Black Box's or Helium 10's Black Box tool. All of the filters that you get here will be pretty similar to the filters you have across the board, whether you're using Helium 10, Jungle Scout, or Viral Launch. So we'll go into categories, and that's the first filter that I'm going to select. You could just follow along with what I'm doing here. I'll do like arts, crafts, and sewing, home and kitchen, industrial, scientific. We'll do some office products. That looks pretty good for now, right? We could choose to do tools and home improvement. Now that was not too bad. I probably will stay away from like patio, lawn, and garden right now. Just for the seasonality of those things. Pet supplies and sports and outdoors and toys and games, I also tend not to look in as much. I like to look at the home products more. So next we'll go over into price. And for the price, I like to set a minimum of maybe $20 to a maximum of somewhere maybe around $95, $96. Now you could really change this up, and here's one way that I like to do this so that you don't get overwhelmed. I'll usually go maybe 20 to 40, and then I'll tell you next, once we're through some of these ideas, how we can get new ideas by changing some of these around. So next we're gonna go to review count. I'll do maybe like 190 and maybe 11 as a minimum. High reviews don't necessarily mean you can't compete, especially if it's an unoptimized listing. And then the next thing I want to change down here is our sales to reviews. So I want to put maybe a minimum of like 30 sales to every review. Right, so that means that they're getting about 4 reviews or 3 reviews for every 100 sales. That's a velocity that I can kind of keep up with. Usually a review ratio would be probably under 5%, so that's right around there. This is a little bit more conservative, but I want to see products where they're not getting 40, 50 reviews a month, and I'm not going to be able to keep up with them. I want to see sellers that are pretty much selling around there and gaining that amount of review velocity or momentum. And then the next thing that I'm going to do is, of course, set our monthly units here, because you'll notice I didn't put in revenue. I would choose one or the other because they're doing the same thing. So monthly units sold, the reason I like to do monthly units sold instead of revenue is because I can kind of control how many I'm going to need to stock per month. So for instance, in this situation, I might go 180 to maybe 380 per month. Okay, and that's going to be about it. I'm going to go ahead and hit search here, and we're going to look through some of these, but that's how I would set this criteria up. We're actually going to go into our keyword criteria as well, but we're going to look through some of these, and what I'll usually do is I'll come up here and I'll go to reviews, and I'll sort them low to high, and then I'll just start looking through here. So we have a curtain rod holder, probably don't want to do that. I'll come through here. Sorry if there's some loud noise outside, I don't know what's going on out there. We have a rug of some kind, don't know what that is. And then as I go through this list and I'm looking through these ideas, something that I'm going to want to do, and maybe you saw this in one of my videos, is I don't necessarily want to analyze them right now. I just want to add them to a list to come back and look at later, because I want to look through as many ideas as I can while I'm in this kind of searching mode. So maybe this ceramic vanity tray, okay, let's see, they do about 330 sales per month, 54 reviews, 4 stars, $30, awesome. We're going to add to my list. And then this thing right under it too, portable door lock. I come in here, add to my list. Awesome, so then you would go to your list down here and check in on those. But why don't we go up, and I wanted to give you more than just the Black Box product section as far as setting up parameters and criteria go, I wanted to head over to the keyword section as well, because it's slightly different. We have a new variable here being the search volume. So we'll come into do just about the same categories here, do something like that, and those two, and that looks just about fine for now. And we'll go into search volume, right? So this is a new variable now. So before we're looking for products, all right, if we come into keywords, we're now looking for, oh, I'm glad that deleted everything. We're looking for keywords that customers are actually searching now, that we can look and see if there's, a good amount of competitors providing that, or if there's not, and make a judgment call about whether we want to sell that or not. So monthly search volume, I actually like to go pretty low with this, because there could be just about 500 customers a month looking for something specifically, and that could lead you to maybe the main market. But then there's 80 other search terms that you could potentially rank for that all have either low amounts of searches, or maybe there's one with a lot. So any one individual search term doesn't have to have that much search volume for me. So I'll do as low as 500 in that box. And then it's actually the max that I want to be more picky with. I usually don't want to see much more than maybe 6,000-7,000 searches per month. Usually if there's that much demand for a product, you're already running into a lot of competition. So I would probably max it out, maybe even go 5,000 for that. I'm definitely not putting 10 to 30,000 searches per month in here. Those are going to be leading you to well-developed markets that already have very highly successful products in them most of the time. There's usually not a market that has 40,000 searches and 15 sellers. So we'll move over to monthly revenue now, and we'll just use this because we used monthly units last time. This is again where I like to be kind of realistic about what I'm expecting from a product on Amazon. I'm okay with having products that make $3,000, $2,000, $7,000 per month revenue at 30, 35, 40% margin. Okay, so that's totally fine with me. So I actually like those kinds of products because again, they generally, these kinds of products with these kinds of revenue are the markets where you have the best chance of ranking, staying ranked, and being one of the main competitors that maybe in years to come grows to a $20,000, $30,000, $40,000 per month listing with 1,000 reviews. But that's never what I'm looking for initially. Does that make sense? Because all of those markets started from this little alpha stage, and they moved progressively along the years, got more sales, got more people interested, more sellers. You gathered more social proof and more momentum, and then eventually you're able to become one of those sellers. But don't start in that market because you're going to get drowned out by all of those who established themselves 3 years ago. So we're really looking for those new upcoming products or maybe new designs of products that exist currently that we can sell. So then we'll move over to price. Again, we're going to go about the same thing here. We'll go maybe 20 to 40, and then review count. Because this is a market average, I'll usually go a little bit lower for this. So maybe we'll go 10 to 100, and then that's pretty much it. You can do some cool things with these filters down here, but this is generally where I'll start off. So I would hit search. Okay, so of course with the keyword phrases, you're gonna have to manually go look at all of them, determine if the products in that market are the kind of products you would want to sell, and then add them to your list. Or if the phrase just you kind of understand what it is, you think it might be good, you could add it to a list and come back and check them later. But with this being in mind, if you start to see the same phrases or the same products over and over again, I did want to add to this video here at the end and show you what I usually do to change that. So for instance, in the case of, we'll go back to, we'll just stay here. Well, say in this case, the first thing that I would change is I would start looking from $40 products to $60 products after I retire all the 20 and 40, all the way up to my max budget. That works great. If your max budget for a product launch, you don't mind doing some higher ticket products, but if you have a very low budget and you don't want to do something kind of high ticket, then the next thing I would recommend you changing is probably messing around with the revenue. So maybe instead of 4,000 to 900 per month, we can start looking from maybe 6,000 to 12,000 per month or so, or 9,000 to 12,000 per month. And then if you were using monthly units, this one's even easier. Say you're doing like 110 to 320 or something, then I would just change 320 to 550 or something, okay? So once you kind of start getting to the same ideas, you start seeing things over, you reach the end and you did a lot of research, just start changing the variables between either revenue or monthly sales. You wouldn't want to do both. Like I said, it would be one or the other, or the price. And in this case, you could even change the search volume. So once I retire maybe 500 to 5,000, then maybe now I start looking from 5,000 to 8,000. So that is going to do it for today's video. Thanks so much for tuning in. Hopefully you enjoyed and got some value out of it. Be sure to like and subscribe if you haven't already. But other than that, I'll see you here after the weekend on the channel for another video. Thanks so much. See you next time. Later.